Welcome everyone. Come on in for the next lesson of the JSON API hotel reservation backend. So I want to show you something because today we're going to cover finally something up that needs to be covered really quickly, and that's the error handling, right? So basically, let me open up a Thunder client. Let's do HTTPS. HTTP, by the way, localhost 5000, and I'm going to say API v1 hotel, for example. Of course, I need to make seed, and then we are going to make run, and then we're going to send. Right, so we're going to see here we have an error here, right? Because we are not authorized. Why? Because we don't have these XAPI token is not set, right? And if it's not set, we cannot authorize the incoming user, the incoming request. But we have this error unauthorized, but we have this status 200 OK. And that's actually not good, right? We want to have, for example, a status unauthorized, or in some cases, a status bad request or something like that. So how are we going to fix that? So let's open up the hotel handler real quick, right? So we're going to see here... Wait, first of all, let's actually open up, give me a token of James here. I'm going to copy James. I'm going to say XAPI token is going to be this token here. I'm going to send again. And now we have this hotel here, right? But what if we do something like this also, right? Like a fake ID, boom. Now we're going to have the same thing, right? We have the same problem. The provided hex string is not valid as object ID, right? Status 200, which is not good. So we're going to fix that. Yeah, so basically what we're going to do is, let me open up folders here, and we're going to make a new file in API. We're going to call this errors.go. That seems good. And we're going to make this package API, and we're going to say type, let's close this. We're going to say API errors, or basically we could do, because it's the API, right? Because if we're going to import this from our main, for example, it's going to be API.API error instead of, for example, API.error, something like that, right? So I'm going to call this actually type error, right? It's going to be a structure, and we are going to have in the structure a code, which is going to be an integer, and that's going to be JSON code. And then we're going to copy this, and we're going to say a message, for example, or basically an error. I think message may be better, or R. I don't know. There's going to be a string. And that's going to be, actually, to be honest, I don't like this. I'm going to call this message, right? I think it's a little bit better. Or maybe, let's call it error. We can, because then, I'm going to call it R for now. I'm so sorry. We're going to say R, or maybe error. It's fine. We're going to say, for example, here, func. We're gonna call this new error, right? And that's going to be a code. It's going to be an integer, and then the message is going to be a string. It's going to return this error thingy here, and we are going to return an error, and that's going to be code. It's going to be code, and the R is going to be the message here, right? Something like, actually, to be honest, to make it a little bit more consistent, I do it like that, right? Because, hey. All right, that's that. But for example, what you also could do is we can make, for example, already a predefined error. For example, R invalid ID, for example, right? And that's going to return an error. And we are going to return this error here. And we are going to say that the code is going to be an HTTP status bad request, right? And we're going to say that the R is going to be invalid ID, or something like that, right? Invalid ID given. Something like that. But we also could do it, for example, copy this thing and already make another thing. R not authorized, for example, or unauthorized. Which is also an error. We're going to return a status unauthorized, and that's going to be what's going on here? Juggling unauthorized request. Just like that. All right, so now we're going to play with these things. Right now in our hotel handler, we are going to fix some stuff up, right? For example, here, if we say handle get hotel, and we have a, this is where the ID fails, right? Where the ID is going to fail. So we're going to say, instead of returning an error, we're going to return an R invalid ID. It's not going to work, and the reason for that is, actually here, is because we need to go back to our error, because we need to implement the error interface. And how do we do that? Well, it's very simple. We're going to say func e error, and that's going to return a string, and we're going to return here e.r. And wait, what's going on? Whoops. The thing is, this error thing implements the error interface. So error implements the error interface, which is the fmt. Is it fmt error? Not quite sure. I don't think so. It's going to be the error interface, right? That's very important. If you go to hotel handler right now, handler, just like that, now it's worked perfectly fine. Now we have had add invalid ID. In this case, hotel get hotel ID, we return this, which in my opinion, we should basically return an empty response or something. We will see what we're going to do with that. The question about it is, if we basically make run once again, it's not going to work, right? Look at this. I'm going to do it again. And right now, we're going to have an invalid ID given, which is already our new implementation of our error. It's this right here. Where is it? Invalid ID. Where are you? Here. Oh no, it's basically in our hotel handler. Yeah, I see. Let me click it real quick. What's going on here? Man, I'm so confused. Did I actually add invalid ID here? Invalid ID given, right? That's what we get in this request right here. But we still have the status 200. How are we going to fix that? It's very simple. Remember that I told you here at the beginning of the series here, this centralized error handling is going to be very important, right? And that's exactly what we're going to do, because we're going to do some stuff here. First of all, we're going to say here, if API error, OK, is going to be R, and we're going to cast this error here, which is the error that's going to get returned from the handlers. We're going to cast this first to an API.error. No pointer. We don't do pointers here. If that's okay, if that's the case, right? If this error is an API error, we are going to say, we're going to return C status, and the status is going to be this API error.code. And then we're going to return a JSON, which is going to be this API error itself. That's what we're going to do. If that is not the case, if this error is not an API error, we are going to return the error that is being returned by the handler, but we're going to make it an internal server error, right? So we're going to say return an API.new error, and we're going to say http.status internal server error, and the message is going to be this r.error here, right? That's our new play. That's the new angle we are going to take. So if we restart our server right now, like this, and we go back to our requests and we're going to send this, now we're going to have an invalid ID given. 400 bad request. Perfectly fine. If we do, for example, of course, we need to do some other stuff. For example, here, let's say we delete this token here, right? And we are going to get the hotels. We're going to have an internal server error, right? And actually, to be honest, I think we need to fix something real quick, because we... you see in main what's going on here. So we do a new error. I think... yeah, that's fine. I think what we should do here is basically return a C status. Because that's a little bit weird, to be honest. I'm a little bit confused. 500, that's fine. Internal server error, where does it come from? Ah, I see what's going on. We are gonna say this. We're gonna say that the error is a new, is an API dot new error. Yeah, there's a couple things, a couple ways we can solve that. API new error. And we're going to say status is going to be this r.code. Wait, we do, I'm doing a little bit weird stuff. I'm going to lie. API error dot code here, and the text is going to be API. No, that's fine. And we're going to say JSON here, this API error. Yeah, that's the game. What we also could do is make a global, not a global, but we could make a variable here and then assign that and do the same kind of thing, if you know what I mean. We're going to say make run. And now we're going to do it again here. Yeah, that's fine, because now we have this beautiful thingy here. But this 500 unauthorized is not the best thing. We need an unauthorized method, so we're going to fix that real quick. So that basically, I think unauthorized is coming from GBT, I think. Yeah, this unauthorized here, right? So what we could be in problem here. We could be in a big problem. Because this will, if we do this, right? Look at this, what I'm gonna do. API, new error. And let's say a code 100 and some string, right? I think, yeah, that's what I thought. Look at this, right? We're gonna have a circular dependency, you see? Import cycle not allowed. And that's because we are depending on API and on middleware, and they basically import each other. And that's not good. Enable to fix that, we are going to, because I really want to handle this here. That's bad. Shit. I don't like that. What I'm gonna do basically is, because like I mentioned before, I don't like folders and this middleware thing. I'm gonna put this middleware inside of API. Delete middleware. Everything in API here, it's all fine. GBT authentication, perfectly fine. We don't need API because it's an API. So it's going to be a new error. Where is that coming from? We don't need this. Do we depend on API? Nope. Package middleware. We're going to say package API. Boom. Oh boy, what are we doing here? It's going to be this admin, this one. We're going to call this API. Just keep it simple. We're going to keep it more simple and simple and simple. This booking handler is want middleware. That's fine. We're going to fix that. That's not going to be app group. It's going to be GBT authentication. Perfectly fine. We still have something else here. It's going to be middleware. We're going to delete middleware because it's in the same package now. Admin out. Perfectly fine. You see, it's all good. And now in main, we're going to have some problems here in middleware because we don't use it anymore. So this is going to change. These middlewares are going to change to API. API and API admin out. So it's all fine, right? There is nothing. The only thing we did is basically simplify our application. The less folders, the better, because they were already making us in trouble. So let me open up this GBT handler once again here. What I'm going to do is, we are returning unauthorized. In this case, we're going to return R unauthorized, just like that, right? So we're going to do this. We're going to do token expired. Do we care about that? we could do a new error. And that's going to be HTTP. I'm going to say status unauthorized. But I want to do a custom. You can see how versatile it is, because we have already a status unauthorized error that can, like this here, right? We can directly return it. But I want to basically give us our custom message, right? This token expired message. Here we can return again unauthorized. Delete this. All fine. Valid token. We're gonna have some problems here. The same shenanigans. But I think validate token is this error. Okay, it's gonna return that error. That's fine. And this is all unauthorized, right? Oh, it's all good. We're gonna add an unauthorized. Yes. 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 And unauthorized here also. Boom, boom, boom. All fine. Let's reset this. Make a run. And let's try to do it again. And we're going to boom. And now we're going to have an unauthorized. Perfectly fine. But I think we're going to have some stuff we need to refactor here. The user handler, for example. We're going to have some problems here. This is going to be add invalid ID. This could be body parser. That's basically a bad request. What we could do is in our errors, we could make a bad request error just for these generic bad requests, right? Add bad request, and it's going to be status bad request. If it really want to type it, yes, yes, yes. And we're going to say bad invalid JSON request. Boom. User handler. Boom. Here, body parser, we could return bad request. Fine. Update user, that's something we need to check. This is fine, fine. Body parser, bad request. This is these errors, that's fine. Fine. What are we doing here? If add is more documents, yada yada yada. Handle get users. What is this? Yeah, fine. So you could already see what do we want to return here if we don't find any users. Maybe an unprocessable, not found or something. That's what you could do. Maybe we should do that, by the way. If we try to fetch something that doesn't exist, let's do that and not found. So we're going to say this one, generic not found thingy. If you don't want to make it generic, then you can just use new error and give your custom message, right? But I'm going to make it generic for now, just for the sake of R not found. Actually, to be honest, a resource not found. That's maybe a little bit better. And then we could say status not found. And we could say, for example, resource not found. You could make it super handy. You could say, for example, a resource here plus space, and then you could say here what the resource is not found, right? Resource res, actually a string, something like that, right? That's maybe we can do that, for example. Res plus resource not found. All right, so we can go back to user handler and give you an example here, right? So we could say handle get user. In this case, we're going to say R resource not found, and we need to give it, and we're going to say user. You know what I mean? Something like that. I'm just giving you ideas how you could do that. You could even do it without user, without the resource, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's see if we're going to do this. What do we have? We also have a booking handler. Let's check what we need to do there to make it better. Let's see here. There's going to be this get booking by ID. If we cannot find it, maybe we're going to return a resource. R resource not found booking. Get out user. This can be R because it's going to be an internal server error. That's fine. Booking update yada yada doesn't matter. This one get bookings. R resource not found bookings. The same thing here. R resource not found. Booking. Get out user internal server, perfectly fine. Then we're gonna have hotel handler. I think we did a lot of stuff already here. Get rooms. R resource not found. Of course, it's gonna be hotel. This is gonna be R invalid ID. Get hotel by ID. R resource not found. You see, it's a little bit tedious, but hey, hotel. Get hotels, the same thing, and had a resource not found here. Boom. Paste, make it hotels. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see, make a run here. Boom. Let's try to find a hotel with an ID that doesn't exist. It's probably going to be an unauthorized request. And now it's going to work. Invalid ID given. Let's basically copy. Let's copy an ID here. Right? I'm going to paste this ID in. Boom, and it's gonna find something. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this D, and then it's going to be here, not found, hotel resource not found. Hey, looking clean to me. Let us be honest. That looks clean to me. Of course, very important. I think if we do this, make tests, then we're gonna have some problems. Actually, not. We did it in a way we could not have any problems. But let's open up this user test. Do we have that? It's going to be the booking test, I guess. Where we have that GBT stuff in, that admin stuff, right? Look at this, right? That's going to be test. Booking handler test. Here, this is the thing. If wait, this is going to be get bookings, and this is going to be get bookings. Wait, this one. Here, expected a non-status code. That's what we did. It's basically some trickery we did ourselves. It's basically a little bit of cheesing because we didn't have the correct status code being returned, and now we're going to check it, right? This is going to be if it's going to be a status unauthorized, right? So we're going to say if the response with status code is not HTTP status unauthorized, then we're going to say expected status unauthorized but got %d, and that should work. Let me see. Whoa, big test. What's going on? It takes so long. That's probably because this race detector is here, that I'm going to delete that. I'm going to cancel running test real quick, going to settings. Like this. What's going on here? Min race. I did the race thing. Sometimes you could provide extra test race condition test flags here, and I did the race because I was working for some other project, and I wanted to test the race conditions. So I'm going to clear this out. Did I actually change my font size, to be honest? Yeah, I did. All right, not anymore. Let's test it again, right? Now that we deleted this race stuff. Boom. All right, it fails. And we got a 500. That's not what we want. Oh yeah, that's because the token is not present here, right? We don't... Yeah, we don't set a token, I guess. Is that? Do we do our booking handler, by the way? Wait, this is return add unauthorized. You can see we can clear this up. I think it's that because we're returning a generic response, no error, I guess. Let me see if this is gonna work. Where is this test here? Man, this font is so huge, it's crazy. Let's test this once again. It fails again. Okay, no problem. It's going to be this one. All right, no problem. Let's see what's going on. Maybe we forgot something. Booking handler test. Let's click with the mouse. Why not? No, booking handler, by the way. Add unauthorized, that's fine. Oh, maybe it's going to be this one. Let's return add unauthorized, by the way. Because I think it's willing to get this out user, but it cannot find it in a lot of things. Is that true? Let's see if that's the case. Damn, it's still the same. It's so annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Resource not found, yeah. JSON booking, alright. Handle cancel booking, that's nothing, that's fine. This is an authorized booking user ID. We're gonna return add unauthorized. Let's fix all the small things. Get user. Let's also return an add unauthorized because and resource not found. Okay, I'm not quite sure this is gonna work. Maybe we have another mistake we need to fix. God damn it, why do we have this status unauthorized in booking handler? This is a wait, why are we doing? Ah, it's the admin out. Aha. That's something we need to check. Admin. Yeah, you see, these are unauthorized. These are bad, right? We're gonna return add unauthorized here and do the same thing here, right? Beautifully in. Okay, save, handler test, go with the flow, and it should pass. But it isn't. Amazing. Add unauthorized admin out. Is admin. Sometimes it's funny, isn't it? We still have this 500, man. Why is that? Wait. We create this token. Token is fine because it's going to be from the user. Ay, caraca receba. We got a 500. That basically means, if you have a 500, it basically means that we are here, right? In this error handler, it basically means that we are here. So it's not an API error, right? So we could do something like this, right? Look at this, FMT. Reflect type of, but it's stupid that I'm doing this, but just want to show you that the errors we are getting from here. Wait, is it actually... I know what's going on. Hey, this is a good thing that I fixed. That I think I know what it is. I think the problem is, guys. I know what it is. It's this stupid thing. It's this one. Let's make this here func. We need to move this to API error. Right, I'm gonna split the screen real quick. Go to main. So the problem is, in our test, we make an app, a new Fiber app, but we don't set a centralized error handler, right? And it's the error handler that basically... It's the magic, right? It's the magic. We're going to do this here. We're going to say func api.error handler. Let me paste that then, and let me do this. Boom. Delete that. Do this. Of course, we're going to have this API new error. That's no problem. We're going to do new errors. API errors. Yada, yada, yada. That's fine, fine, fine. We don't need this. API. We don't need this. We're going to cast this to errors. perfectly fine. And then in this case here, guys, at main, can you see this? Yes, yes. We're gonna say that this error handler is going to be the API. It makes sense, right, to put the error handler in API, just like that. So this is gonna be the exact same thing, but now we have the possibility to go into our, it's a little bit annoying, booking handler test. Let's kill this screen. We're gonna say here, when we make the app, right, where is app? App is here, fiber new, I think. Let me open up main, how we going to do this. There's going to be a config here, that's fine. Let's copy the config. Actually, to be honest, we can do it directly. How do we set that thing? Okay, it's just a config, perfectly fine. So we could say here, app is going to be a fiber config. Error handler is going to be the error handler. Just like that. And now, if we run the test, it passes. That basically would already passed 15 minutes ago. But hey, I forgot that. I'm so sorry. Good that we found it. Like I said, organic creation of these things. I'm not gonna skip that. I'm not gonna present myself as the all-knowing God. No, of course not. I thought I see a spider in the corner, but it's not. It's very important to know that these things happen, and you need to basically minimize the time you're debugging, right? And I think it's kind of fine. So of course, I think here and there could be some errors that we didn't actually handle properly, but if we see them along the way, we're going to change them. But we did a lot of them, right? And now you can see, if you go to main, we have basically a beautiful centralized error handler, which is basically moved to our API. You also see that we are changing up things, right? We're making things better, we're making things simpler. Too much folders is a problem. Everything in API is perfectly fine. And if you go to error here, we have all our errors in a centralized file, which we can use and customize to our needs in our application, right? Okay, cool. I see you in the next lesson. Cheers.